I wonder if we'll get to stay on the air this week and get kicked off. Is there any snowflakes about? I wonder if we're actually going to get to stay on the air this week. Welcome back to the Murrami Podcast for another week. Hope you're all doing well out there, guys. Welcome to the Tuesday's edition of the show. Got a lot to talk about today. Got a couple of announcements as well. And I want to talk about a few things that could be a little bit touchy for people, but I'm going to try and keep it family friendly because this is the family friendly version of the podcast. Hope you all had a good weekend out there, guys. It's now back to the Tuesday edition. I can't believe it's Tuesday already. The weekend flew in so quickly. Lewis and I had a good weekend, but it ended up turning out to be a pretty crap weekend at the end. More on that in the podcast. And another couple of issues that I want to address, but I'm going to keep for the Thursday edition, the unleashed version. But I've decided I'm going to try and keep it to a family-friendly, so to say. Try and keep it clean, so we say. But anyway, yes, moving on. Yes, guys, welcome back to the Murrami Podcast for another week. Let's get the housekeeping done, as I always like to do at the start of the podcast. Get it out of the way, and all the essential stuff out there for you to know. If you're coming across the podcast here for the first time, hello. Thank you very much for tuning in. I do appreciate it. If you're new to the Murrami, Murrami pretty much is our fan base, we like to call it, hence why we call it the Murrami Podcast, the Murrami YouTube channel. If you don't know who I am and don't know who we are, we have been on YouTube for the last 7 years. You want to go and check out our channel, Murrami YouTube channel. You can watch our daily vlogs. You can check out all our stuff that we're up to on there. You want to check out the channel of my cool son. We had a great weekend. Lewis, check out his wee channel. Search Lewis Murray. He's just put a couple of gaming videos up the last few days. You want to go and check him out for any gamers out there. You want to get any official Murrami merchandise, you can get your Murrami merchandise, also your Murrami podcast merchandise. You can go to murrami.co.uk. Also, if you want to follow us on social media, get in touch with myself, official Matthew Moore. Also, if you want to get in touch with the Murrami YouTube channel, you can contact us on the Facebook page, which is Murrami YouTube. If you'd be so kind, drop a like on that page, I would appreciate it. So, and also the main one, as I said, there is murrami.co.uk. We can check out all our social media posts from our photographs, etc. All our vlogs from all our channels and more. And also one final thing, Red Men Football Ventures, which we'll be putting the video out tomorrow night for the Liverpool Champions League game, where we see our match day vlogs from Anfield, all our stuff across Northern Ireland involved in football and more. Red Men Football Ventures on YouTube as well. Anyway, I got a lot to talk about today, guys. But before I go, I've got a little bit of announcement. I finally got the interviews done. So they'll be available on Thursday's podcast coming up. And the reason why Thursday's podcast is because I want to have more of a freedom to talk about the cost of living crisis. So I got a couple of interviews done the other day, and they'll be available on Thursday's edition of the Murrami Podcast. So happy days, they're done. And for anybody else out there who's been asking me over the last few days, yes, the gas man came and fixed my boiler, and the heating's back to normal. And we'll be addressing the cost of living as well, about that as well, on Thursday's podcast, so stay tuned for that. I wanted to also keep this little main subject I want to briefly touch on. Now, I don't like to talk about people who are, as I like to call, obsessed, people who have no life, and people who, the T word as I like to call them, trolls. I didn't want to bring it up on the podcast, but because of last week, and a certain couple of individuals who I know exactly who they are. They have absolutely no life. I wanted to save this for Thursday's podcast as well, so I could try and be more free to say what I want to say, but I want to address this matter right now. Last Thursday's podcast, guys, was removed by YouTube because of certain individuals who found me offensive, hurting their feelings, basically lefty boo-hoo crybabies who couldn't understand what I was saying because they're so obsessed with having us shut down. I talked about this a couple of weeks ago, guys. People have been emailing me saying that they're going to take me down. And I don't understand why there are people who are obsessed with me. At the end of the day, what the hell have I ever done to them? You know what I mean? But these people have been obsessed with taking my main YouTube channel down by reporting videos. Like, for example, reporting a video like Christmas Day last year, saying it was offensive and saying that we were racist in that video, which if you go and watch the video, there's no racism whatsoever. Saying that we were putting out the wrong message to the general public. Christmas Day, guys, me and my children opening Christmas presents, Dad dressed up with a Santa outfit on him, the family opening gifts, Christmas dinner, you know, spending time with my girlfriend at the time. Like, how the hell is that offensive? But these complete fools, and I'm gonna say it nicely, keep trying, because it's not gonna work. Like, go and take your medication, go back into your mama's basement, turn on your computer, and go and be obsessed with someone else. Our podcast from YouTube last week was removed. It's still available on Apple and also available on Spotify. Thank you to Apple and Spotify for keeping the podcast up. I was talking about subjects on the podcast in relation to illegal immigration into the UK, which at the minute is on the news, on the mainstream media, which I've heard about and seen by flicking through YouTube the last few days. And these people, these little handful of trolls, are just like, oh, he said something that we don't like, we gotta shut him down. So the woke brigade are out in their force, the snowflakes are out, even though it's not snowing outside. But I did have a bit of an eclipse this morning, but I don't think the snowflakes are out yet. So yeah, I wanted to address that matter, guys. Get yourselves a life, wind your neck in, stop being so sad. If you don't like this podcast, you don't like me, you don't like my family, you don't like anything about me, do yourself a favour. Go get yourself a life. Honestly, you need to grow up. One person in particular reported the YouTube video 12 times. I've been in touch with YouTube in relation to this matter. 12 reports from one person. Like, saying that the podcast was racist. At one point they said... I never once met... They said that I was taking offence, I was taking the piss out of gay people. No, I wasn't. Really? They said I was being, the video was of violent nature. Really? Really? All it was audio, so where's the violence? And more. These people are just completely obsessed with trying to shut me down. And know the thing about it is, I was picking to a couple of people over the last few days, and know the thing about it is, and I've never really said much about this, and at the end of the day, guys, I don't consider myself a very big YouTuber or a big celebrity. Like, people come to me all the time, like, for example, in the street, Liverpool games, the Belfast Jan hockey games, in the street, wherever it is, supermarkets, everywhere I see people, I meet viewers of the channel. I've even run into trolls recently as well, people who just think they're funny, but they're not really. They're just immature little morons who think they're funny. And it's another story for another day. But again, you know, people come to me and go to me, oh, we love your channel, and you know, you're big and all. And I've never ever once considered myself a big YouTuber or a big time personality. I'm just me, a normal working class guy who was born in Belfast, who lives in Bangor, who looks after his 2 children, and makes videos on YouTube for fun. And these people, these mentals, these people who are just completely bonkers, cuckoo, mad in the head, or just like, oh, we gotta cancel, or make up stories or whatever. Like, seriously? Go and take a look at yourself in the mirror. In closing, honestly, the reports that I got from YouTube last week was just absolutely hilarious. And the response that I got from some of you guys over the last few days, which has been fantastic, and thank you very much for it, especially Instagram. A lot of you have been contacting me on Instagram. I actually forgot to say to you about the email for the show as well here, guys. Just goes to show you how much I've got on my head this last few days. Contact me on mooromnipodcast@yahoo.com. That's how you contact the show, with an email. A lot of you have been contacting me by email and by the podcast, or by the Instagram and Facebook page, laughing. It is hilarious. Like, I mean, what I ever do to these people to make them go out of their way, out of their day, to go and say, right, he's put a new video up, let's report him. Really? Like, you need to wind your neck in. I'll openly admit this. At the very, very start, it used to bother me. And I used to get wild up and sometimes get really to the point where I was so pissed off that I took it out on other people, which I've apologised for on numerous occasions. You know, get into a bad mood over these trolls and people out there. But when it got to the point as well, guys, where these trolls were so obsessed they were attacking our home, where I had to get multiple security cameras fitted around my home, paid a lot of money for it to be done, expose a lot of them, take a lot of them to court, have them prosecuted for multiple charges over the years. But when it gets to that point where you just don't care anymore, it's like you're just obsessed and you've no life, then do it. Be obsessed. Because at the end of the day, I used to love these morons. Used to mail me going, you'll never find who I am. You'll never get who I am, blah, blah, blah. And then they end up finding who they are and they're standing in front of a judge and they're getting hammered. So, I actually laugh at trolls now, but it's just the fact that they took one of the early podcasts down just a couple of weeks prior or after what I said to you on the podcast about people saying that they email me telling me they're going to take me down and all that. They don't think I'm some big top celebrity. You know what I mean? I'm just this normal guy and this is the joys about being in the public eye as well. You know, people just get too obsessed with you and they just try and take you down. Now, we all have our different obsessions of different things we like to watch on TV, like favourite TV programmes and things we like to listen to and do and whatever else. But at the end of the day, I have a favourite. I mean, I'm a big fan of pro wrestling. I'm a big fan of certain TV shows. But I don't go out of my way to troll these individuals and go online and fake account people. Like, for example, a wrestler who I don't like or a personality from TV or whatever. I don't troll them telling like, oh yeah, we're going to take you down, go kill yourself. You know, you're fake, you're phony, you're this, you're that. But there's unfortunately people in this world who do that, and it's really, really sad. So, but yeah, all I can say in closing is just keep trolling, because at the end of the day, you will be found out, you will be caught, and as I always say, bring it on. I just laugh at you now. I've actually got immune to it now, guys, where I just laugh. And I know you're probably saying, well, why are you bringing it up in the podcast? Because the episode was taken down. A lot of people were asking me why it was taken down on YouTube. But by the way, you can go and check out the YouTube channel if you're not listening to it on the YouTube channel here now. We're on my podcast on YouTube. Drop a subscribe for me. I think you appreciate that. Nor a cheap plug. But anyway, yes, I just wanted to bring that up. So, yeah, keep trolling. Keep trying to take us down. Thank you once again to Apple. I spoke to Apple directly. They had a couple of reports as well. Just explaining the situation, sent them a couple of copies, emails from YouTube and whatnot, and explained them, sent them links to our channel on the Mirror Army YouTube channel and explained to them, obviously sent them a couple of things about, you know, just give them a whole explanation to them on Spotify, because they both have reports as well. But thank you to them, they kept it up. They didn't find anything wrong with it. Again, guys, you want to go and listen to the podcast, I talk about illegal immigrants, my experience with my opinion, as well, on the illegal immigration situation in the UK, and just all different things I talk about. Give you an example. Like, YouTube are obsessed with this vaccine thing for COVID, and they take hundreds of videos down every day. I put a video up on the YouTube channel talking about the thing 2 weeks ago, and it's still there. It's been reported multiple times, because every time there's a report put against it, I get an email about it. But these people were just obsessed with that video last week, and they just saw it. And again, it wasn't just the ones who were obsessed with me, it was the snowflakes as well, who were easily offended. And they were like, oh, cancel, take his video down, cancel him, put him in the corner, don't let him speak, cancel. Well, go ahead and cancel. I'll always find another platform to talk on. Keep on going. Anyway, thank you for all the messages of people who did contact me over the last couple of days and say, you know, how stupid they are and everything else. But thanks for all your support, guys. I do appreciate it. But anyway, yes, before we go on and talk about our weekend, as you all know, guys, on the Thursday podcast, we'll have a segment called the Jackass of the Week, which we pick somebody. I'm going to maybe put a wee poll out on social media today, actually, if I can remember to do it. Jackass of the Week. Now, this is the thing. We recorded the podcast on Tuesday morning. Jackass of the Week, and literally within about an hour or two of putting it out, what happens? The Jackass of the Week, who was Liz Truss, the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, walks outside number 10 Downing Street and resigns. So she's an even bigger Jackass of the Week. So should we give it 2 weeks in a row for her? Let me know, guys. MurderArmyPodcast@yahoo.com and also on social media. Let me know. Liz Truss was our Jackass of the Week this week. Liz Truss is no longer the Prime Minister, and as we speak today, as far as I'm aware, Rishi Sunak, of all people, the most corrupt little weasel I've ever seen in my life, the millionaire who's married to a billionaire, who in my opinion is going to not fix the country and is just going to be a complete nightmare as a Prime Minister, is currently our Prime Minister. Like, Rishi Sunak, really? There's rumours going around the last few days that bumbling Boris, Mr. is coming back, but he's not, so he stepped away. Yeah, we've got Rishi Sunak as a Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. May God help us all. That's all I can say. I know our country, Northern Ireland, here is in a bit of a mess at the minute with the whole political BS going on with all the people, like, who's in charge, who's not in charge, people backstabbing each other, and what is going on with this world, guys? Seriously, I'm not involved in politics as much. I don't believe in politics. I don't even vote. I don't even want to vote. I wouldn't vote for it. I mean, there's been MPs that came to my own front door, knocked the door, and went, "Do you vote for this one?" I just look at them and go, "No, sorry, I don't vote." Why? Because you don't do nothing for me. As far as I'm concerned, I have no interest in politics, so bye. Oh, but your vote could do this for the country. I don't get involved. I don't get involved. It's just... But I do see occasional things on television. You know, the likes of when I pop past the news, which I don't watch the BBC, by the way, as you probably know, and I don't watch Sky News because of all the propaganda they put out during COVID. That's my opinion for another day. I mentioned it briefly. But only news channel I really watch would be the likes of a GB News or something like that. And oh dear, I've highlighted the trolls again if they're listening. Oh my god, he watches GB News. Oh no. No, okay. Yeah, I watch GB News because it's honest talk and it's honest people. My favourite person I ever see getting interviewed on there is Charlie Lawson, aka Jim McDonald. When he comes on, it's absolutely hilarious. Typical broad Belfast man, doesn't care, calls a spade, love it. Anyway, so yeah, we've got Liz Truss away after 44 days. What mess is this country in when it comes to politics? Like, seriously, what mess are we in? The cost of living crisis, where gas prices are through the roof, electricity's through the roof, and I've started to notice it now over the last couple of weeks. You know, and I'm going to talk about it on Thursday's podcast, which is just crazy. You know, it's a mess. All the debt that we're in, like bumbling Boris, Mr. Stay at home, but don't stay at home. Stay your friends. Okay, Boris, whatever. The guy who handed out £500 billion during COVID. And all these people who were like, oh, I'm getting paid to sit at home in furlough, blah, blah, blah. Do you think you're going to get that for free? You got to pay that back some way. This is how they're going to make their money back. Do you really think Rishi Sunak is the right man for the job? Let me know, guys. Drop me an email, MurderArmyPodcast@yahoo.com, or contact me on social media. Like, is Rishi Sunak the right guy for the job as Prime Minister of the United Kingdom? Personally, I don't think so. But I had to laugh, though, yesterday. When he got out of this car and they were all standing in the street going, Rishi, oh, congratulations. They're all shaking his hand, and that little weasel, Matt Hancock, was standing there. The one who was Mr. Lockdown, I called him, Mr. Weasel, the one I remember sitting on the sofa one time with Sandra, watching Matt Hancock on the television and talking that crap about, you know, stay at home and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I don't trust him. I don't like him. There's something about him. He's a weasel. He's up to something. Him and your old man, Witty, Mr. Alien Head, who doesn't blink. You know, and I'm looking at them two and I go, there's something not right here. And what was happening? He was going, as soon as he was off the stage, he's canoodling with some other bird behind his wife's back, caught on camera doing it, while we were all locked at home, not seeing our loved ones, not seeing our family, not seeing our partners, not seeing our friends, locked at home like animals, while these are all partying and whatever else and canoodling with everyone behind their wives' backs. So you tell me, but it was funny yesterday, he was standing in the street, Matt Hancock, pointing my story here, and Rishi Sunak walked past him and shook anybody's hand, didn't shake his hand, blanked him and walked past. And the look on his face was priceless. And I'm kind of like, whatever. But again, I don't trust any of them. I don't trust politicians. I don't like any of them. And to be quite honest with you, they're not my cup of tea. And that's why I don't vote. And, people keep saying to me, who do you prefer, Labour or the Conservatives? And I'm going, I don't get involved in politics. Like, I'll give you a story, guys. I was telling this story the other day, actually, to a friend of mine. So funny we're talking about it the other day. I was in Liverpool one time, and I was coming around past Lime Street Station in Liverpool, and all these Labour Party I don't know whether they were protesters or I think it was the time there was during I think it was before COVID. They were doing the election. I think it was the time that Bumbling Boris was up for Prime Minister at the time. And this girl walked over and went, "Hello, sir. How are you? Labour Party's the way forward. Make sure you vote Labour and all this here." And I just looked at her and went, "Darling, I'm not from here. I'm from Northern Ireland." And within about a split second, just like that, she shut her mouth and just looked at me and went, "Oh, okay." And I went, "Do you want me to explain the way our country is back home with all the politics back home?" And she just looked at me and she went, "I've read about it. I've heard about it. And I feel sorry for you." And I went, "What's that supposed to mean?" And she went, "It seems to me like your government's over there's all over the place." And I went, "All over the place? Don't even get me started, darling." And she just looked at me and smiled and went, "Have a good day, sir." She shook my hand and away she went. And I just walked away laughing. And I was like, "Good luck to you, darling." That's why I don't vote. But honestly, like Rishi Sunak as Prime Minister, I mean, people are like, your man, is it Keir Starmer you call him? He reminds me of Tony Blair back in the day. Tony Blair looks like an evil SOB, doesn't he? Whenever he had his longish type hair and all, he looked like a real evil, I don't know. He was all like pro lockdowns and all that crap. But again, is Rishi Sunak the right guy for the job? I don't think so. Was Mr. Bumbling Boris the right man for the job? Nope. Starmer was calling for a what do you call them? General election. I don't think any of them are fit for the job. They're all corrupt. They all lie. They don't tell you the truth. Lockdowns proved that. COVID proved that. They were all just in it for themselves. But again, Rishi Sunak is he the right Prime Minister? No. Right, let's move away from politics because I don't want to bore you anymore. What type of weekend did we have this past weekend? My goodness me. Well, we finally got our gas boiler fixed, which is great. And it was pretty good. So we went off to football on Saturday, Lewis and I. We had 2 matches on Saturday. We had an under-21 game in the mornings, which they won comfortably 5-0. Some good, decent players in that under-21 squad. And then on Saturday afternoon, we went on our road to Breda Park, home of Knockbreda. It was great to run into some old friends who are now at Knockbreda. My friend Andy Long, who's the assistant manager of Knockbreda, who's played for Bangor years ago, was talking to him again. It was great to see him. But one thing really sort of baffled me, and I'm going to be trying to clear this matter up later on today. I was standing waiting for the players and all to come in and stuff like that. They were all standing outside the ground talking, whatever it was. And one of the players who walked up, who I consider a bit of a clown, he's a bit of a character, and he loves to have a joke and a laugh all the time, and he's nuts, like, was wearing a Maroon Army t-shirt. Now, the way I looked at it was, okay, they're wearing a Maroon Army t-shirt, and I'm going, why is he wearing a Maroon Army t-shirt? But when they went onto the pitch, they were doing a warm-up in their training gear, and this guy was wearing my Maroon Army t-shirt over his, like, training gear. And I'm saying to myself, are they doing that to take the piss out of me? Because there's a lot of them in the squad in there that I know kind of don't like me, and I'll be totally honest with you, because I want to try and clear them out later on when I see them tonight. And I was thinking to myself, are they doing that just to literally take the piss out of me because of YouTube and the podcast and everything else? Or are they just doing it to support the channel? Because I support them through obviously advertising their matches and doing stuff for them and all that there. So I pulled the guy to one side and I said to him, who got this t-shirt? And he pointed out one of the players who, in my opinion, I don't think he kind of likes me, to be quite honest with you. But again, I could be wrong. So the way I'm looking at it is, because of the person who bought the shirt, he turned around and said to me that apparently they're going to wear, one of them were going to wear it every single week. And I'm thinking to myself, are you doing it to take the piss out of me? Or are you doing it to promote the channel? what he's doing, because I know a lot of them out there on bus rides and all shout wee cheeky comments and all at me because of YouTube and things like that, which will be clearing the matter up over the next few days. Now, if they generally have bought the shirt to promote the channel at matches, happy days. But if they've bought the shirt to take the piss, then the matter shall be addressed. Because, you know, at the end of the day, you do obviously get people like that who just love to take the piss and blah, 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 blah. I'm not complaining because they've bought the shirt off the store. It's merch. It's bought. It goes in, obviously not all of it, but some percentage of the sale goes in my pocket and my family's pocket. So, whatever way you look at it, that's fine. But it's just a wee matter that, you know, because there's been a few wee things going on there over the last couple of years, and I think a lot of the boys take the piss, especially whenever I do interviews with players. There's a certain group of them that doesn't want to speak, and when they don't speak, they take the piss. So it's kind of like, it's a matter where I'm sort of going to try and get dressed up. But that was one wee thing that was niggling at me on Saturday, and I thought, well, I'll just have to address that matter. It could be wrong. It could be a situation where they're buying the shirt just to support the channel. But again, it's whoever I found out who bought the shirt, it's kind of thinking, he's a practical joker. He's doing it to take the piss. So we'll get the matter cleared up anyway. But anyway, yes, on Saturday, we won. Happy days, hallelujah. We won 3-0 away to Knockbreda. The highlight for me was a guy called Matthew Ferguson, who's come back after a 2-year injury, had to get a knee replacement surgery. He's been working his ass off. I mean, he has been busting his balls for 2 years to get back. He came back after injury a few weeks ago. He came on as a substitute for the last couple of minutes. He didn't get on the week before because the game was postponed at half time because of the player getting was rushed to hospital with a head injury. He came on the second half. He was on the pitch 90 seconds and he scored. This guy is an out-and-out goal scorer, just like his dad was. His dad was the same. I think I mentioned his dad before. His dad's in like the overall top 10 highest goal scorers in European football. His dad was a legend, still is this day. But he's got that instinct like his dad. He's a goal scorer. And he came off the bench, 90 seconds, bang, scored. Unbelievable. Great day, great result, fantastic. Couldn't ask for any more. So, after the game on Saturday, Lewis and I were coming back to the social club, so we're going to get the train back. We normally travel with our friend Joe. Hello to Joe, by the way. Joe knows about the podcast. Hello, Joe. How are you? Yeah, so we were sort of... Joe had to go out because Joe's heading out that night with his wife and his friends and stuff. Hope he had a great night. I'll actually catch up with Joe later. Yeah, no, we were just coming back and we dropped off at the social club, which is the train station just around the corner. And Lewis and I hadn't ate all day. We literally got up a little bit later than normal. Quickly showered, quickly changed, packed the bag, gone to work. End of. On to football. That was us for the day. Never got nothing to eat up at the ground. So this was around about 5:30, 6 o'clock. And Lewis was saying he was hungry. Obviously I was hungry too. So I thought, right, we'll go into our little social club sort of restaurant part and get some food. Which, by the way, the food's amazing. By the way, guys, I'm putting the vlog out today. You'll see some of the food that we got. It was amazing. So we got our food and all. And it was great. And our manager ended up coming back to the social club too with his assistant. And our chairman was there and a couple of our ones from there. And we're all just sitting talking away and stuff like that there. And the Chelsea-Manchester United game was on. We got our dinner. Our dinner was beautiful, so it was as always in there. And then we decided to go around and get the train. So we're around and got the train. And stand waiting for about 10 minutes as normally. Train comes, gets on the train. And literally about 10 minutes into the journey, the train breaks down. And Lewis was like, Dad, the train's not broke down. Me, Lewis, when I worked in TransLink, when these trains were released back in the day, when these trains first came onto the market, and when these trains have either electrical faults, technical faults, because they're all done by computers and things like that there, compared to the old style trains, long gone the days where you have to shovel coal into a big fire to keep the train going and all that nonsense. There's still some old steam trains knocking about, but anyway, he tried to get the train going again. It was moving really slow, and then he stopped it again, started again, stopped again. So we had to stop at a place, Helens Bay. And then the conductor comes along. You'll see it in the vlog. Like, come on, folks, off you skip. So we're all removed from the train. So our train had broke down. Some health and safety thing where they had to slowly move the train away, obviously, because of the health and safety issue with the train. So our train had broke down. We were stranded in Helens Bay. I phoned Dad, Mum and Dad, possibly thinking to try and get a lift. They had no petrol in their car, and it was just a fucking disaster. So we're standing there waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And then finally, after waiting for a substantial period of time, another train comes along. And normally we are home when we go to Knockbrader. We're normally home for about 6:30 on a Saturday. Maybe a bit earlier, depending if we're travelling home with one of the players or Joe or whatever. And we didn't get in the door to near 9 o'clock. So by the time I get in the door and sat down, I had more interviews to put out, website to update, usual stuff. That was my Saturday night out the window. My Saturday night was ruined. Couldn't sit down and watch TV, couldn't spend time with the kids, couldn't do anything. Brooke was off at her boyfriend's house, and Lewis was upstairs watching TV. I had to go through all of Lewis's photographs and edit some pictures for the website. And by the time I got all that done, it was like, what, midnight? So it was kind of like, that's my Saturday night at the window. So I ended up having to go to bed, get up the next morning, get the match highlights done, and just get all the stuff done that needed to be done. Because I have 2 matches to edit this week, 4 interviews to put up, website to edit, and then it was just one thing after another, and then other things to do as well. And it was just like, are you serious? So my Saturday night was at the window. So I ended up having to go to bed and get up the next morning and do more things all over again. And then it was just one thing after another in the afternoon. And the thing about it is, though, guys, I remember I woke up on Sunday and I just woke up and thought, right, okay, I'll check my phone here, the time, 12 o'clock. I actually slept at 12 o'clock the next day, which is not like me. So that's half the day gone. So I got up and I thought, right, I got stuff to do around the house. It's a Sunday and I've still got that highlights to do. So I was doing the highlights while I was watching the Newcastle-Tottenham game. So I had to get that done, and then I had to put in another interview I'd done the day before, and it was just one thing after another, and it was just like, really? My Sunday was just a nightmare. And it just got to the point where I was just like, I need to go to bed. Again, I was just tired. So it's just been one of those weekends, guys, between football, trains breaking down. It's just been one hectic weekend. But on the positive note, our football team won at the weekend, and also Liverpool got beat as well. But all you people who don't like Liverpool and like to send me the occasional banter message back and forward, yes, Liverpool got beat by Nottingham Forest. I know, we were crap, and we're playing Ajax away tomorrow night, and we're probably going to get beat again, which I'm not happy about. So Liverpool got beat, and it's not a very good thing. And people were asking, where's your live reaction? I wasn't even here to watch the game. It was an early kick-off on Saturday because it was a football. So there you go. Yeah, they're all asking what the live reaction video was. There wasn't any this week. So there you go. But, sure, what can you do? It was just one of those weekends, guys, and I just think, yeah, nightmare. But anyway, yes, guys, a wee thing here I want to sort of announce. It's a wee thing going on here in my wee hometown here of Bangor. It's on from the 21st of October, which is obviously past, till the 6th of November. It is a Halloween, it's a amusement sort of thing here in Bangor. It's like a big fun for family thing down in Bangor here. I'm trying to see actually here. I may have to put my glasses on here while I'm talking to you. Yes, I do wear glasses, by the way. I should have said here, yeah, it's open from Monday to Friday from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday from 12 to 10 p.m. It's at McGee Clock in Bangor. It's Halloween happenings at the McGee Clock in Bangor. It's like a big, it's from Curry Swing Time Amusements. So if you're wanting to go anywhere this Halloween, certainly go along there. It's on in Bangor, just at the seafront where the big clock is. It's on, as I said, there are the times and stuff. So if you want to go and check it out and take your kids down over Halloween as well, you can. Now I know it's Halloween next week, and it's unbelievable. I can't believe it's Halloween next week. Like, wow, it's unbelievable. Monday, is it Monday? Is Monday Halloween? I think it is. Myself, Lewis, Mum and Dad are heading to the Edom Church in Bangor here. They have a big family thing on as well, guys, so I wanted to just make a bit of an announcement about that as well. If you're going to be about the Bangor area on Halloween night, we're going to be heading there. If you want to come up and say hello and whatever else, you can, certainly. We're going to be there for the big fireworks display, which they always put a really good display on every year. They've got stalls, things to raise charity, bake sales, all these different things for all different generations of kids and families and older people, and just this big thing they have on at the Elim Church. I think it starts at 6 o'clock. Don't quote me on that. You want to go check out the Elim Church's Facebook page and also check out their website. But the fireworks display guys are always really, really good there. So we'll be there around about 6 o'clock-ish on the night of Halloween. So if you're there, come up and say hello. Come say hi, we'll do a selfie, whatever you want to do, talk, yep, whatever. Mum and Dad, they're going to be there with myself and Lewis. Brooke's not going to be there. She's not home till later on that night because unfortunately she has to work. But yeah, you want to come along, guys. The Elim Church in Bangor will be there. And then obviously if you're not a churchgoer or whatever, I mean, you know yourself, I'm not a churchgoer. But at the end of the day, it's a big family night for Halloween, and there's going to be loads of people there, and it's going to be great. I think this is the first proper one they've done since COVID. So get yourself along there on Halloween night. It's going to be good fun. And if you are there, please come up and say hello. I'll look forward to meeting you, talking to you. We can talk about anything you want, apart from Liverpool getting beat. So if you want to come along on Halloween night, guys, I would really love to see you all there, and we'll have a good time. And I'm going to be vlogging there as well. So I'm going to be vlogging the fireworks display, different things like that as well. So I'm going to be there on the night of Halloween. I think it's 6 o'clock. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's 6 o'clock till 9. As far as I'm aware, double check their Facebook page, Elim, ELM, Church Bangor. Also their website, they'll give you all the details on there. So if you're there, I'll look forward to seeing you. Now, I've just paused the podcast there for 5 minutes. Now, I know I talked about it earlier on there, guys. It's just when I'm recording the podcast here in the room, I had a TV on the wall in the background there, and just a new, I was just flicking through the channels there, come on to go and get myself a drink of water there, and it's just come up there. Rishi Sunak's just done a speech. He's now obviously accepted he's the new Prime Minister, but I just had to laugh at this. This is actually hilarious. And we talked about this at the start of the podcast, is he the right man for the job? I'm sitting here and I thought, let me hear what he just has to say for a minute or two before I go back on the podcast here to record the rest of it. He's standing there talking outside number 10, and all you can hear in the background is the song I Predict a Riot. Do that song. I predict a riot. I predict a riot. It's playing in the background while he's standing talking. I'm like, what are they doing? It's like there's people standing away at the bottom of the street behind the big gates, big music systems blasting I Predict a Riot. Oh my God, what is the world coming to? Unbelievable. So there you are, guys. Rishi Sunak is now our new Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. What is the world coming to? Bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. Right, I'm going to get on to a couple of your emails, guys, before I go for another week. Unbelievable. I predict a riot. Unbelievable. That these people, I don't know. What's the world coming to? So yes, guys, before I go on the emails, don't forget to go and check out that wee thing for Halloween, guys, down at McGee Clock, and also at the Elim Church as well. I may even try and get down to that wee Halloween thing at the McGee Clock as well. I know the kids will be a bit older, but I might try and get down as well, just to sort of see what's going on down there. Anyway, yes, let's get on to your emails. I've got one here from... Let me have a look here. Oh, God, there's quite a few to go through, actually, this week. Oh, dear, I should have picked out a few before I started. Okay, let's go here. Okay, one here from Alan. Alan wants to know, Matthew, I watched one of your videos from a year or so ago where you showed some of your pop vinyl collection. Could you please update us on what your pop vinyl collection is currently sitting at? Love the vlogs, love your family, love the new podcast. Keep up the good work, Alan. Okay, thank you very much, Alan, for the email. Appreciate it. You don't even want to know what my collection's like now. You do not want to know what my collection is like. Trust me. My pop vinyl collection, guys, you're probably going to laugh at this thinking to yourself, Matthew, you're a 41-year-old man. What the hell are you doing? You all know I'm a big WWE fan. I have been since a kid. I answered a question last week for someone who wanted a wrestling question answered. I've also wrestled myself as well for 5 years. Big fan since I was a kid. Still watch it to this day with my son. as you probably saw a few weeks ago, we were in Cardiff for the Clash at the Castle pay-per-view at the Millennium Stadium, I still call it. It's called Principality Stadium. If you want to go and check out the vlog from that, you can. Anyway, yeah, I started collecting, just as a wee novelty, some of them pop finals with WWE. And then, even when I was with Sandra at the time, she used to tell me off this. She says, Matthew, you're getting too obsessed with these. I thought to myself, I could do a wee collection in this here, like a wee hobby. It could be worse. It could be spending my money on worse things, And I've just sort of obtained a bit of an obsession with these pop final collections. And the last time I counted, for WWE ones alone, you're talking, well, there were about 200 odds, maybe. Yeah, I've pretty much got the whole collection, apart from the odd one or rare ones or two odd or rare ones that are very, very hard to get a hold of. Yeah, my collection's a little bit extreme. There's been another recent line brought out there recently, and I've obtained them all. I had one delivered the other day, actually, which was a very rare one to get as well. It's just a hobby, and I've got to the point now. My brother comes around here, he looks at them all the time and goes, "Bro, seriously, you get so many? Why?" And I'm like, it's just a hobby. It could be worse. It could be spending money on fucking drugs or illegal stuff or whatever, or doing like drinking every day of the week or whatever, or but I don't. And I even realised the Sandra at the time, she was kind of like, Matthew, you're getting to be obsessed with these here. Like, I'm like, well, it's just a wee hobby, a wee novelty, you know what I mean? It's just something. Now, don't get me wrong, there is quite a lot of them I do have that are worth a lot of money. Like, a lot of money. The most I've ever spent on one, you don't even want to imagine what the worst of it. The most I've ever spent on a pop final is £100. Yeah. But that pop final now is valued, not just by eBay, by the way, is valued about 350, maybe more. There is a few rare ones that I have, a few custom ones that look really, really good as well. It's just an obsession, guys. Not an obsession. It's more of I like to collect things. It could be worse. You know what I mean? So laugh, say what you want. I don't really care. Lewis has a few pop finals in his room. Brooks the same. They're nice. It's a nice wee thing to have. You know what I mean? And obviously, people out there collect football ones as well. Like Lewis has the whole Liverpool team in his room. He bought his recent favorite basketball player, Devin Booker. I got him that one when I was in Liverpool there recently. So yeah, that's just to answer your question. I have a wee bit too many. Will I ever show them all? Probably. I'll show a wee video in that video we're talking about there, Alan, about what they were like and stuff. I'll show a couple. When I say a couple, there was quite a lot actually in them. But there's a lot more now, trust me. But yeah, there you go. So what can I say? Here's one here from Tina. Tina wants to know, hey Matthew, when are you ever going to head to Scotland for a vlog? We haven't ever seen Scotland in your vlogs, and we've always heard you talking about it. When are you ever going to come to jolly old Scotland? Well, here's the thing, Tina. Lewis and I were actually going to head to Scotland last week to watch a football game, but we decided not to go at the last minute. When will I ever head to Scotland? I did have plans to go to Scotland. I was going to book Edinburgh. Whenever Sandra and I were together at the time, I was going to take Sandra to Edinburgh for a few days, because Edinburgh looks absolutely beautiful. The scenery and the history of Edinburgh looks amazing. Now, I've been to Glasgow before. I was in Glasgow a long time ago. I talked about that actually a few weeks ago when I met Rick Mill in Glasgow. I was over there for, I think it was 2 days back in the time. I don't even think Brooke or Lewis were born at the time, were they? They were. Brooke was 1. Brooke was only, it was 2006, so Brooke was not even 1 maybe. I think Brooke was only a couple of months old. I went there with Brooke and Lewis's mum. I've been to Ayr at that fun fair thing, went years ago with Tony, when Tony was younger. M&D's, I think it's called. Went there a long time ago as well. But yes, I would love to get back to Scotland. I want to go to Edinburgh. Edinburgh's on my bucket list to do, because apparently Edinburgh's beautiful. I've had a few friends of mine tell me that Edinburgh is just a lovely spot. Everything's right beside each other as well, kind of like Cardiff, which is great. You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to getting to Scotland. When? I don't know. I was supposed to be away on holiday last month in Greece, which didn't happen. I was supposed to be away earlier on this month for a couple of days at a big hotel. It didn't happen. So Scotland could possibly be on the plans. I would love to go to Edinburgh. So I might go back to Glasgow again, because Glasgow's fun too. But yeah, thanks for your email, appreciate it. But yeah, I'll be definitely going to Scotland soon, because guys, you know me, I just love to travel. I just love finding different places, and I just love going to new places and finding new wee spots, and it's just great. Because I'll give you an example, off subject for just a second. I was on what do you call that, Facebook Reels, I think it's called, the other night, just flicking through, and I found this guy from Belfast who's been doing videos of different places around Belfast and stuff like that. And I'm from Belfast. I go to Belfast every week. I mean, I know all about the place, but there's all these wee spots that he found I didn't even know about. And I'm thinking to myself, look at all these wee cool spots locally that I could be going to as well. So I'm thinking to myself here, I'm going to start hitting a few of these new wee spots. Like, for example, this weekend, Lewis and I don't have any football. And I said to Lewis, there's a pizzeria place in Belfast. What's it called? Oh my God, I can't even remember. And I have to go back on that guy's page again. It's like an old-fashioned, backstreet, American-style pizza place. And they say it's the best pizza place in Belfast. I don't know. I've seen it before, going past it in a taxi, but I've never actually been to it. So, as you all know, Lewis is obsessed with pizza. I'm going to take him there this weekend. On Saturday, we're going to get up and go on a train to Belfast for the day. And I'm going to take him to that wee pizza place. We're just going to have a nice day up there. So, yeah, I'm going to try and find a few wee rare spots in Belfast that are open and see where it goes from there. But thanks for your message regarding Scotland. Yes, I'll be heading to Scotland very, very soon. So please bear with me. I want to try and get over to Edinburgh, because apparently Edinburgh is beautiful. Okay, this next one's from Michael. Michael wants to know, hey Matthew, how are you doing today? I haven't seen any of your beach walks or forest walks in the last few months on your vlogs. I really enjoyed them, especially whenever you were around Crawfordsburn Country Park at the time. Loved that vlog. It was so entertaining and so much fun to watch. I ended up taking my dog from there, as I live in Downpatrick. Me and my dog went there a few weeks after and found the Crawfordsburn Country Park very entertaining. When are you going to start doing more long country walks and showing more forest areas and more nature areas in your vlogs? Okay, Michael, thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. I think the last nature walk I actually went on was the Crawfordsburn one. If you haven't checked out that vlog, guys, go and check it out. I went there that day I think it was with Sandra that day. It was. I live not too far from Crawfordsburn, guys, and I've never been to the country park in my life, and it's a sin. And then Sandra took me that day. She said, right, we're going to go to Crawfordsburn Country Park, and I said, right, okay. So she took me there, and we had an absolute fantastic day. Great memories from that day. That day I'll never forget. Went in for lunch and all that day as well in the wee cafe. It was just a really, really, really good day. In relation to the walks, guys, yeah, I'm going to have to, about walking again recently. I haven't took the camera out with me, but I want to start doing it again, because when I go back and look at a lot of my old fun videos with me and the kids and stuff, around the forest areas, out for walks, walking along the beach, doing all these different things, I need to start doing all that again, because it was good at the time, but as you all know, guys, the last few months have been pretty tough and, busy, and it's just been really, really bad over the last few months, with obviously Sandra and I breaking up, which was quite hard to take, and then obviously the work getting really busy, and then just a lot of old personal stuff going on too as well. As you all know, it took about 6 weeks off YouTube for a while, and it was just hard, a lot of hard things to deal with lately. And when you're trying to stay motivated and trying to do all those different things at the same time, you think to yourself, right, I want to go out and walk today, and then obviously something else comes up or whatever. So, but yeah, I'm definitely going to start getting back out again. I know, and I love walking in the winter. I just love going out that lovely cold fresh air and the likes of now October, November time. It's great. Not so much whenever it's lashing out of the heavens and you get absolutely drowned it, but that's another thing for another day. But no, honestly, Michael, I do miss those vlogs. That day at Crawfordsburn, that's a memory I'll always cherish. It was a great day, and I have the video there to look back on and have good memories and stuff, because for a lot of reasons, because it was my first time being there, and then obviously spending time with Sandra there at the time as well, and me and heard a lot of great things over the years, and I have those memories there to keep, and it was great. It was a great day. So, but I hope you enjoyed it when you went there. I enjoyed the waterfall in Crawfordsburn. I thought it was brilliant. The waterfall was just fascinating. It was really, really great. And I hope you said you took your dog. Yeah, hope you had a good time. And yeah, he said Downpatrick he came from. Like, that's some distance to go just to go to Crawfordsburn, but fair play to you, you know. Obviously, your doggy must have had fun running around that forest area, just having a good sniff around and stretching the legs and having a good time. But yeah, I will definitely go back to Crawfordsburn again, probably in the better months, and sort of like springtime comes around again, because it was a really cool place to be, and I really enjoyed that day, and it's a day I'll always remember. Okay, I'll answer one more final question here, guys. This one's from Alex from Instagram. I took away from the emails, now I'm on Instagram here. Alex wants to know, hey Matthew, I see you video your vlogs on the iPhone 13. What do you think of the new iPhone that has just been released? I have pre-ordered one, and it's on its way. What do you think of the reviews for it, and will you be getting it yourself? Honestly, I don't know. I mean, you all know, guys, I use an iPhone 13 Pro Max for my vlogs now. Obviously, it's a great phone, fantastic phone, great camera quality, you know. But then the new iPhone 14's out. Like, Lewis has come up to me and saying, Daddy, you need to get the new iPhone 14. It's got this new M chip in it and all, and it's got everything you need and all. And I'm thinking to myself, well, I only got the iPhone 13 this past, New Year's Eve it arrived. You know, it was New Year's Eve just before we went out for dinner. And, you know, it's a great phone, and I do everything on my phone. You know, record vlogs and all these different things I do on it. It's a great thing to have, but will they be rushing it to get the 14? I've seen a lot of reviews on the likes of YouTube and Facebook, and people are saying, you know, it's not an overly great phone, but there's a few technical problems. But at the end of the day, guys, you know yourself with Apple, if you're an Apple phone user, they always, you know, find faults and then they fix it. Like, for example, 2 weeks ago I had a problem with Instagram. I couldn't get onto my Instagram, and not even within 24 hours, maybe, not even that, I had an update out and it was fixed. So Apple's on the ball all the time, you know that. I've been an Android user for years as well. I was an Apple user for quite a while, and then I stopped using Apple for a while, but then I always went back to Apple when I got the SE 2020, and then I obviously upgraded to the iPhone 13 Pro Max there this past January. Well, 31st of December came out. But yeah, it's just great. I love my 13 Pro Max. I think it's a great phone, making some really good content on it. And you can edit your vlogs right and quickly, depending on how long they are. You know, you're always on the ball, you're always on the go. It's just, yeah. But to get the 14, I don't know. We'll see. Now, I was thinking of changing my laptop from Windows to the new MacBook Pro, because of this new processing chip they have in it and all these new things as well. Because I was talking to a guy there in Bristol Airport who worked in one of the wee electrical stores, and I was talking about him and stuff like that. Because, guys, you know yourself, I worked in Curry's for years, and I talked about it before. Worked with electricals. I'm always switched on. I'm always trying to learn more. And Lewis is just as bad as me. Lewis is trying to learn things as well, and he's coming to me talking to me about all these new processors and laptops and phones and gadgets and things like that. I mean, this is where he gets it from me. And I was talking to this guy in that wee store at the airport that time, and he was showing me the actual how quick he can edit a video, because I use my laptop for obviously work and for editing the football games and doing different things on that as well, and video editing especially. It's just like boom, 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 so quick to do and so easy. So, you know, I was thinking about upgrading my laptop there, but I was looking on Apple's website actually the other day with Lewis. £1,300 for a laptop. Like, really? Whoa, a lot of money. I mean, the iPhone 13 Pro Max cost me $1,000, which was a lot of money for a phone. But, you know, you pay for quality nowadays, guys. But, yeah, again, will I get the 14? I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. We will just have to wait and see. Anyway, guys, thank you for all your questions. I do reply to a lot of you off podcast, off show, off camera, whatever you want to call it. I do reply to a lot of you on Instagram too as well when I get a chance. So thank you for all your messages, guys. I do appreciate it. I'd just like to answer a couple every week on the air. Don't forget Thursday's podcast. I've got those interviews coming out with the cost of living crisis on Thursday's show. I'm going to be dropping an hour vlog today. Don't forget to check it out, where you'll see the situation with us on the train. It's a nightmare. Thanks for all support, guys, in relation to last week's podcast. I'm sure by the time I finish talking today, the obsessive trolls will be pulling their hair out by the roots, and will be obsessed and going bonkers and nuts and just like, oh my god, he's hurt my feelings again. Okay, whatever. Millennials. Anyway. Yes, guys, once again, before it goes, you want to check out our website, mirrorarmy.co.uk. We can get all your merch, and also check out all our social media posts, all our vlogs, videos from all our channels, all across there. That's the Mirror Army Hub, I call it, the mirrorarmy.co.uk website. Yes, that's what I forgot to say. So silly of me. Mirror Army podcast, more merch will be released before the end of the week. That's what I forgot to say. I knew I forgot something. Yes, before the end of the week, we're going to be releasing hoodies, more stuff, and also I've been speaking to the guy, and he's going to try and get me a couple more designs for the Mirror Army YouTube channel as well. So please, for anybody who buys our merch, what's a lot of you out there do? Sorry, the wind. This is not coming from the other end. Yeah. There's going to be more coming out soon, so guys, so stay tuned for that. Or for the end of the week, I want to get more merch out, so stay tuned to my Instagram page, the Facebook fan page, whatever. Yes, we'll be making an announcement for more merch, so the Mirror Army merchandise is on its way. Stay tuned for more. Much one, I apologise, obviously, for the delay, because a lot of you were asking for hoodies and winter stuff and whatever else, so it's coming. Believe me, it's coming. So stay tuned for that, guys. I do appreciate all your support. So yeah, follow us on Instagram, follow us on the Mirror Army Facebook page. Don't forget to check out Lewis's channel. Help him grow his channel, guys. He's complaining that he feels like his views are not going up, and he's trying as hard as God love him. He's putting a lot of effort into his videos. He really, really is. When he's up there editing his videos, he's up there for hours on editing videos and trying to get his wee gaming channel up and going, and his wee vlogs as well. So guys, I would appreciate it if you drop a subscribe on his channel. And, go in there and obviously show him a bit of love, because God love him, he is trying. He's trying so hard. So I remember one of his videos reached, I think it was 1.5k views or something like that, there he thought it was Christmas. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, guys, yes, so next podcast? Thursday. Next Tuesday will probably be the day after Halloween. What I might try and do is, and you all know I said earlier, I'm going to go to the Elim Church. I'm going to try and contact them and see if I can come to the church and maybe do a couple of interviews for the podcast, talk about Halloween and stuff. So I might just say to them about it. Just a wee idea there. I might try and see if I can get a couple of interviews. But if not, I'm still going to go there. I'll be there on Monday night, so with my family. So if you want to come along, say hello and whatever else, the Elim Church in Bangor, big fireworks display, big family fair, the whole shebang for Halloween. Get your ass there for Halloween night. It'll be great fun. So if you're not doing nothing for Halloween night, bring along your kiddies, bring along your friends, bring along your nieces, your nephews, your grannies, whatever. It's going to be a good night. And it's all for a good cause as well. So Elim Church, and then obviously the one we was talking to you about earlier on as well, but the amusement sort of like family fair area down in Bangor at the McGee Clock. Get your backside down there as well and show some support to the local community as well. I would appreciate it. But anyway, guys, I'm going to go. So, what a day it's been. I'm going to go now and get this put together, get this overflow put up, because I've got to go to football tonight, do more interviews, and do more stuff. So, yeah. I'm looking forward to Thursday's podcast, because I can say more, and I've got a lot more to talk about on Thursday. So, if you've any questions for Thursday's podcast, get it in now. We're going to be talking about the cost of living crisis, and we're going to be talking about more. So, get your questions in now, mirrorarmypodcast@yahoo.com. Right, guys, I'm going to go. So thank you all your support. Appreciate it. Love yous all. Won't be here without yous all. And until Thursday, hope you enjoy the rest of your week. We'll enjoy your Tuesday and on your Wednesday, and obviously I'll see you on Thursday. So until then, look after yourselves. I'll see yous all then. Thanks for listening, guys.